HOT6 quarterfinal. Today's matchup, Afreeca Freecs Blue, LW Blue.
Welcome back to Overwatch Apex Season 2 with Doa and Monte Cristo. We're going to go into our second best-of-5 quarterfinal match, and it's an elimination match. That's right, LW Blue versus Afreeca Blue. The loser goes home. The winner moves on to face Kongdu Panthera in the final match of the group.
Really exciting stuff, especially considering what we saw from LW Blue and Flower's masterful Genji play, getting so many clutch reflects on Zarya ults, Mei ults in the match against Kongdu Panthera. Yeah. And it's going to be an interesting Genji battle, I think, today between Arhan and Flower.
You know, I would agree, but I wish we could get Arhan from like the end of last year instead of today's Arhan, because the Arhan that we have before us now is kind of a shade of his former glory, isn't he?
Well, it's partially his own play and his poor decision-making surrounding which duels to take, not having the best positional awareness from his about where his team is on the map.
Right.
But also, we've seen this team made some roster swaps before coming, or I should say role swaps, coming in before this playoff match. Mono now moving to that tank position, where his Winston was, I think, quite good, but his Reinhardt left a lot to be desired. And Adam, kind of shaky on the old Lucio.
He kind of looks like that guy who's like, he's not very good on your team, so you tell him to play Lucio, and he knows how to like use his speed boosts and stuff, and he's okay about when to ult, but he has no idea how to wall climb. He's just like always on the ground. That's kind of what it was like watching Adam play Lucio last time. So it seemed like, because Mano was a pretty okay Lucio, that they traded their Lucio Reinhardt for a really good Winston and a lesser Reinhardt and a lesser Lucio. I don't know if that's quite the role swap that they needed to make happen. So, clearly they need to try something. But, right now, in my mind anyway, a lot of this team's problems center around Arhan.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. And it's going to be tough to face off against LW Blue, who did look very clean in their first two games up against Kongdu Panthera. Now, them falling apart in Game 3 onward is a bit curious. Of course, you had the Janus not being able to touch the payload or not walking up far enough to touch the payload that lost them Dorado ultimately. But also, Mako was so huge in the first two games on Zarya and then just sort of vanished to end out that series. And also, I question their insistence of putting Sae-Byeolbi on so much Roadhog. Like, I don't understand why they were trying to out-Roadhog Evermore and Kongdu Panthera in the last series when we know
well on the Roadhog.
Yes, but Sae-Byeolbi is one of the best tracers in this tournament. And had we seen Sae-Byeolbi do the kind of harassment that we saw in Evermore's Roadhog today, maybe they would have been a lot more successful.
One does wonder, and it really seems like all four of the teams we have in this quarterfinals group have been experimenting a bit. They have been kind of trying some different things. But LW Blue, yes, Sae-Byeolbi can be good on the Roadhog, but I agree. They should probably move him back to something a little bit, more akin to what he's been playing so far. He only played 12% of that last match on Tracer, which he played so much of earlier in the season. So we'll see what they've got.
Yeah.
I will say that it doesn't seem on paper like this will be a very close match. Even after the loss, even after the, I don't know if you want to kind of tilting or the falling apart that LW Blue had against Kongdu Panthera, they still looked like a much better team than Afreeca Blue is right now.
Yeah, true. And as much as I want to talk about Sae-Byeolbi playing more Tracer, it may be better for him to play Roadhog today.
Maybe.
To punish some of the positioning. Because remember, for Afreeca Blue, they mostly play Recry. They play some Tracer, so there are those dive compositions available.
Yeah.
So you can always try and pick somebody off who's harassing your back line more or less if they run dive. And if Arhan goes too far, it's very easy to punish him if you're a good Roadhog player, which Sae-Byeolbi certainly is. So there's I think that strategy may be more effective for LW Blue than it was against Kongdu Panthera, per se.
It could be. It certainly could be. We saw some interesting stuff from LW Blue as well in their last match. We mentioned on Nimbani when they did the attack, they had Luna run 76 instead of the Ana like normal. It, wasn't necessarily great, but they did take the point.
And they did win the map.
Not because of him. Although the first thing he did on that map was walk in front of a Torbjorn and immediately die. But,
yes, that's true. He was coming from the lower hallway.
It was a lower hallway, yeah.
For some reason. Not really sure what the plan was there, but certainly you need to be more cognizant about the rest of your team's positioning before you take an engagement like that.
More aware of your health pool and how much time you can spend attacking that turret.
There was a nice left-click headshot, to be fair.
There was. It was kind of a surprise, but still. The health pack is like that far away.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It was
hard to take.
It was definitely slightly awkward, but Afreeca Blue, we'll see if they've got what it takes today, really.
That's right. Let's see what these teams had to say going into this match.
아프리카 프릭스 블루는 만호 선수가 탱커로 오면서 확실하게 뭔가 탄탄해지는 느낌은 있었는데 힐러진의 약간 부진함 이런 것들이 조금 느껴지지 않았나라는 생각이 좀 드네요.
메타전 경기를 져서 좀 아쉽긴 한데 제가 이전에 탱커 유저여서 포지션 변경을 하고 짧은 기간 안에 연습한 것 치고는 할만했다고 생각합니다.
LW 블루가 3대 0으로 끝낼 것이라고 처음에 예상을 했었는데 이걸 역수입을 만들어내다니 정말 네.
방심했던 것 같아요. 팀 전체적으로 분위기도 좋았지만 너무 텐션이 높아서 그때부터 점차 공도한테 기가 꺾였어요. 아쉽습니다. 패자전하고 최종전이 있지만 뭐 딴 길로 돌아갈 수도 있죠. 새길로. 어차피 4강이 최종 목적이니까요.
LW 블루팀은 여러 가지 조합을 상당히 잘 쓰는 팀이라고 생각해요.
에이펙스 시즌 1에서 결승전을 가서 상당히 강한 팀이라고 생각하고요. 지금도 그 여력이 남아있을 것 같아요. 결승을 갔던 그 템포, 딜러들의 다양한 영웅폭이 아무래도 블루의 핵심이지 않을까.
요새 리크라이 선수가 팀에서도 연습을 많이 하고 있어서 다음 경기 때는 완벽한 겐트 조합을 할 수 있을 것 같아요.
약점은 모든 걸 다 잘 다루지만 그 모든 게 다 탑급은 아니라는 거죠. 저는 탑급이 있다고 생각해요. 트레이서, 맥크리도 보여드리고 싶어요.
3대2 예상합니다. 끝까지 끈질기게 멘탈을 잡고 해서 이길 것 같아요.
3대1 되지 않을까 생각합니다. 우리 약한 맵이 있고 변수가 있는 맵들이 있으니까.
아직까지 오버워치 팀에서 최강팀이라 불리는 팀은 있다고 생각하거든요.
같은 블루에도 격이 있어요.
LW 블루가 방심을 많이 하고 있을 텐데 그거를 기회로 삼아서 저희가 이겨보겠습니다.
Afreeca Freecs Blue, Flex, Mono, Adam, Tank,
그냥 계속
Donghyun, DPS, Arhan,
한 명 끊기면 죽여서 안 하니 선구안에서 아예
Recry, Support, Amon, Afreeca Freecs Blue.
All right, Afreeca Freecs Blue, the team that came in second in Apex Season 1, but this season barely made it into the quarterfinals and fell pretty quickly in their first match. We'll see what they can do here in this battle for survival.
Yeah, that said, at least they won a map against Meta Athena, which is something...
That's true. That's something that Panthera didn't do.
Kongdu Panthera was unable to do, and they did take control. And even with the changes to this roster, control is still their top-tier map type, because if it goes to hybrid, they are 0-5 on hybrid and 1-3 on escort, so 1-8 on payload maps total, which means that Afreeca, basically, if they want to take a victory here tonight, they predicted themselves 3-2, and I think effectively they have to take control and assault, and then hope to pick up one of the hybrid or escort maps.
Yeah.
Because without that, it's going to go downhill really quickly. Even though LW Blue have not been the best on hybrid or escort themselves, they've been pretty substantially better than Afreeca.
Now, to be fair, Afreeca Freecs Blue's last match was probably the best match we've seen from them all season long. They still struggled with a lot of those same problems that have kind of plagued them, but overall, the level of their play did go up a notch. So if it continues to do that, who knows? We'll see. But they've got a hard opponent in LW Blue. Let's introduce these guys.
LW Blue. Tank.
못 취하고 있어요.
소리만 끝나니까 싸우러 들어가는 NW를 보는
Janus.
안 된다 싶으면
4공인데 와 빙벽으로 막기.
자, 4인정 하나 맞죠.
Meko. DPS.
자, 메르시
선수
네, 메르시가 계속 타겟팅이 되고 있어요.
굉장히 위험해요, 지금.
방벽 안에서
Flower.
킬러가 다 끊었어요. 자, 이러면 기회는 찬스가 맞나요?
맞았어요.
네.
맞았는데 한번 뒤가 없었고요.
Sebyeolbi. Support.
대장선 체력이 없어요.
Gambler. Luna. LW Blue.
You know, I would have put in that like soldier clip of Luna dying to the Torbjorn just to like troll him. You know? Yeah, that's why they don't let me make the videos for these. Well, here's LW Blue, a team that has looked very strong all season long, but finds themselves battling to stay alive in the tournament. They're in a good place to move ahead, though.
Yeah, for sure they are. And Flower and Sebyeolbi continue to be one of, if not the most dangerous DPS duo in Apex. Hopefully we'll get to see more of that Tracer later on down the line because that has served them well. And it's a team that really likes tank busting. They love running Zenyatta. Luna was playing it a lot, but in the last series, it actually flipped over to Gambler for a little bit. They were running Ana and Zenyatta together, but you have to be very careful about LW Blue because if you misposition, the Discord orb goes on you, and they are so fast and so good about calling targets and engaging that you will just lose one member of your team almost instantly.
I got to take a moment and talk about just how impressed I've been with Gambler lately as well. He played 4 different heroes in his last match, which is not something you see from a support player.
Yeah, his Mercy was a little bit suspect. He was part of the Let's Die on Dorado squad with Flower to one Roadhog, but
he had
left a lot to be desired.
He had some moments, like Nimbani was okay, but Lucio, Mercy, Zenyatta, Torbjorn,
yeah,
pretty good. And even a little bit of Symmetra in there, too. So, Flower on that Genji, of course, has been a pretty wonderful pick for him, too. He got 2 big reflects in their last match, a Graviton Surge and a Blizzard even on Hanamura later on. So, a threat on a lot of different heroes. Played a good amount of Pharah, too, last match.
Yeah, he's turning into more of a dedicated projectile DPS player these days. It looks like, even though we've seen so much of Flower on Soldier and excellent hit scan play in the past, they really have divided the roles now pretty rigidly between Flower and Sebyeolbi when it comes to hit scan versus projectile.
Yeah, plenty of Mei as well.
Yeah.
Hanzo, of course, he's had some pretty great Hanzo rounds. Let's see what the first map is. Going to be Ilios for our control map. So LW Blue versus Afreeca Blue. Afreeca Blue really the team that needs to get this win on control. I mean, like we talked about early, pretty much all of their wins this season are on control and assault. They're 0 wins, 5 losses on hybrid, 1-0-3 on escort for this season's stats. So yeah, gotta get the wins here.
The problem for Afreeca Blue is that LW has an even better record on control. They have not lost a control map yet. So Afreeca, they need to win this map right here because their escort and hybrid maps have been abysmal so far.
That's right. Let's see if they can do it. See who gets the early momentum in this best of 5. A battle of the blues begins now. welcome to Ilios. I'm amazed that statue is still standing. That's some very durable, ancient construction.
Yeah, durable marble, much more durable than real ancient Greek statues, which were all shattered.
Maybe it's mithril.
Why is everything mithril in this game for you?
Because mithril's awesome, man. It's the coolest fake metal ever.
Is it?
It's even cooler than adamantium, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about unobtainium? Everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
Avatar element.
Unobtainium.
Absolutely terrible.
That's
What a
that's why we're here, man.
What a god-awful movie Avatar is.
Hey, well, I have some good news for you in that category.
I don't think you do.
Oh, actually, I do. I really do this time. Avatar 2 has been pushed back another year.
Yes!
Will not come out, apparently, in 2018.
I thought you were trolling me, but that's fantastic.
No, I mean, I would never troll you, Monte Cristo. I only want you to get good feelings from everything I say.
Well, that's a lie right there. So we are going to have double snipers, though, Widowmakers for Recry and Flower. So right, of course, as I say, Flower is a dedicated projectile player now. He, of course, plays Widowmaker, which is pretty wrong.
It's a very fast projectile you can't see. So, ooh, that was close.
But Flower actually got a kill on a mono there right after moving out Recry. It's the headshot onto Luna, so 1-for-1 the trades as both Widowmakers start to reposition.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
And Recry getting pushed back a little bit by Janice.
Yeah, one team had that Winston to pressure the Widowmaker, and getting rid of that Ana is great, but doesn't really help pressure the enemy Widowmaker when you don't have that Winston any longer.
Oh, Janice has to fall way back. Mano does go down, so one of the Winstons out of there. Arhan sets up the reflect, doesn't need to use it. It's quite the battle over for the point. Not too many heroes able to quite get on there and stay. Uh-oh, Arhan. Oh, grab by Mako, and that's the way they want to mitigate that Genji. Recry taking the high ground, looking for the kill. Ooh, jumped off.
I mean, he's just all by himself right there.
Much,
Gets hit by a partially charged shot from the Widow, and then stands there without his reflect, has nowhere to go once his reflect goes off. So Mako easily able to pick him up. And Mako, interestingly, running the Roadhog right now that was Sabiolbi's domain prior to this. So I like what we're seeing. They have already made some adaptations from their previous match, and Sabiolbi going back on the Tracer without them losing the pressure onto Arhan from dropping the Roadhog. So smart comp, I think.
I think we see it working well. Genis has a nano boost. Meanwhile, Arhan going in with his own, gets hooked again. And yeah, I would say this Mako Roadhog is working out quite well because they freed up Flower and Sabiolbi to do the DPS thing, and they got Mako back there protecting the supports against Arhan's Genji. It's just a pretty good thing to run against Afreeca Blue.
And Recry changes over to the McCree now to help with Sabiolbi, but you know, Doa, I just don't understand what they were planning on doing in that last fight. Like, where was Donghyun's bubble onto the Genji when the Nano Blade came through? They neutralized it nearly immediately. It just didn't look like Arhan had the support to be able to make that play.
They're going to try to go in again. Afreeca Blue trying to take the payload bit. Not the payload, the point. The payload is the point. But it's not going to work out. Both supports for Afreeca Blue already down. And meanwhile,
Flower's just killing everybody.
Yeah, Donghyun trying to sneak that one, but they're not going to let him get away with it. Flower's really picking up a lot of those kills, and Sabiolbi with the follow-up.
Lance flashbang, but unfortunately it's posthumous flashbanging, and now it's desperation as 99% means that the sound barrier must be used, and that's going to be it. Flower makes it look so easy on the Widowmaker. Virtually no pressure that entire match. Great positioning from LW Blue. Anytime that that Genji or the Winston tried to go back and pressure Flower, they were there with hooks to answer it, and that's not a great start if you're Afreeca Blue.
Not really, but it really felt like LW Blue had the comp to perfectly handle what Afreeca Blue tries to do a lot of the times, right?
It's a really good read.
You know, and whenever Arhan ults with Genji these days, you don't really know if he dies early, if he didn't have the support of his team, or he just decided it was a moment to go in and didn't wait for the support.
All right, well, they may actually be running with a Tracer, and we're going to look at Flowers' apparently injured wrist.
Uh-oh.
So Sabiolbi back to the Roadhog, and this puts Flower onto the Tracer, a hero that he used to be quite spectacular with, but we haven't seen from him in a little bit.
So they want to have Mako on the Zarya now. So shoring up the tank line a little bit. Arhan and Mano go down nearly instantly. Janice with a pin kill onto Arhan. They wonder how that one happened. Or just recalling as Afreeca Blue finds themselves on the outside looking in. here on well already.
First cap again, easily taken by LW Blue. With the early, again, I really wonder how that charge happened. Recry immediately switching over to the Pharah. Good choice.
Okay.
No real shutdown potential outside of Luna on LW Blue, considering how far away you can shoot rockets on this map. So I like Recry mixing it up according to the situation, but it doesn't. Mono is just by himself getting hooked every single time.
I mean, I know his name is Mono, but it's not Mono-y complete other team.
I'm pretty sure that's how the saying goes.
I think
right?
so, yeah. Mono-y6.
Mono-y Todo, I think.
Mono-y Todo?
Is how you would say it.
Sounds close enough for me. My Spanish language expertise is just about there. Oh, the hook is broken. Flower has had Pulse Bomb. Finding a target. Adam is a juicy one. Both supports looking pretty favorable. Why not toss on the Nano Boost? Or the Nano Boosted Zarya. It didn't work out though. Nano goes down again. I mean, he's just, with as good as he looked on that Winston last map, he is looking pretty bad this time around.
At least they're able to do the damage and actually flip the point this time. They've got to make some sort of change against the Pharah. Flower going to switch off of the Tracer.
Not quite yet.
Maybe they want to try a big bang here because Flower can get his ult charged so quickly, and Mako is going to have the Graviton Surge available quite soon. Donghyun,
I mean, if you can
come up right now.
If you can manage to ignore the Pharah, you can maybe get something done. Ooh, Arhan pulls out the Dragon Blade. He's got the support now. There's the ultimate. Gets two with it. That's more like the team fight that we're used to, or from the old Afreeca Freecs Blues. They did originally have that very good ult coordination.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic, but they don't actually bait anything out of LW Blue there, and I think that's the main problem. Sure, you get a nice ult combo off, but LW Blue is just going to bounce back with a huge ultimate advantage at this stage as they run up towards 6. So LW Blue loses a few percent, but they're going to be okay with that considering the investment that was required from Afreeca Blue to hold them up.
Yeah. Afreeca Blue coming back again. LW Blue's a lot else to work with here. Sound Barrier coming in for Afreeca. And there's the Mako with the Graviton Surge. They're going to try to Graviton hog them. Only one kill off of that at the moment. But LW Blue making a big push onto the point right now. Recry does get Flower though. Oh, that hook!
Hello!
Are you kidding me, man?
And he gets the kill onto Arhan with the right click immediately afterwards.
Jeez.
Well, SaveLB just kills everybody.
All right, I guess that's going to happen.
That was beautiful.
That was absolutely beautiful. That Roadhog hook goes a lot longer than it seems to sometimes.
Not able to.
When I got hooked in one of our ranked games the other day, I told you that. I'm like, that hook went farther than I thought it would. You didn't believe me. You thought it was just poor positioning. Well, look at that, Monte Cristo. That happens sometimes to people.
I mean, but they haven't flipped the point. Even throughout all of the madness, though, Recry managed to get back down. Does get hooked during the barrage.
A little bit low on that barrage. He pays for it. LW Blue, they flip it now, but they flip it at 96%, so they're going to have to hold this one.
Yeah, that's a bit rough. Donghyun will be back with another Graviton, so LW Blue drag it out for long enough, even though the initial fight goes well into LW Blue's favor, and they force out many of those ultimates. Now it's going to probably go to a 90+% situation for both of these teams. Donghyun just looking, searching for that angle.
Wow, throws it way in the back line. Sound Barrier comes in immediately. Arhan ready with the Dragon Blade, though. Push back. No kills yet. Flower does go down, and Arhan has to climb back out of the well. No health, though. And that is a pretty good start for LW Blue. Never mind, though. They lose a lot of people as we watch the Bilby bouncing around the map.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
it took a lot out of them to actually take out Arhan, so it ends up being worthwhile. And that map, the point's going to flip. SaveLB coming back, but is going to get slept during the whole hog and focused immediately thereafter. Mono trying to zone out Luna.
Now Luna may be in a little bit of trouble here. Only after both
supports. Gotta get on the point.
Yeah, that's right. Overtime. Oh, he can't make it back in time. Meanwhile, Afreeca Blue will claim their first round here.
Good comeback. I mean, even when they fell away and it looked like there was going to be a change in the point capture at about 50%, they continually kept one person in spite of losing the first fight and forcing out more and more ultimates from LW Blue.
Right.
Managed to bounce back from it.
Yeah. You know, it's always seemed that if Afreeca Blue ever finds themselves in a situation where they've got a little bit of time to sit on the point, got a little bit of time to regroup. We have seen them be very good and very coordinated defensively. It just seems like it's hard for them to get to that sort of comfortable situation. But they were able to get to it on well. They got the point, and that's going to bring us a Lighthouse. See who takes Ilios.
And that's going to be mirrored dive comps for us, Doa, as well.
Yeah.
Both teams really committing to this. And the zoning from both Winstons. But Mono is a little bit too far forward. Has to jump out as the members of LW Blue collapse upon him.
Mano has died so early in so many of these fights. First one to die again on Lighthouse. Aron does get the kill in return onto Mako. So Afreeca Blue still fighting that 5v5. Recry not lasting there, and it looks like LW Blue may be able to get in position to take this point early.
Yeah, they do have that advantage.
They got it.
For the time being.
Nope.
Mono going to dive back in there. Can they take out the Winston? They do.
Wow.
Both Winstons go down.
It's a rough day for being Winston, I think. Nano boost onto Mako, and he's just going to make a run for it. I don't know if that was the greatest nano boost from LW Blue. They did not get any value out of that one.
Push people off. That's about it. But the mech suit definitely too low to really justify that. However, Flower is going to find a bunch of people in a close-range corridor.
Yeah, but only finding one kill with that. It's enough to push Afreeca back for the moment, though.
So Afreeca has been working up a nice ultimate bank here, even as Amon dies very late. Tsumeko chasing him down. So Afreeca has not committed a single ultimate yet on this point. And they have a big opportunity now to try and force this point to change hands.
Yeah, they've got a potentially a very good fight coming. Oh, Sabiolbi drops a nano, not the nano boost, the pulse bomb. He does get Zarya shielded, though.
That's not the best opening when you're playing around the projectile barrier cooldown.
I don't think so. Sound barrier for LW Blue. Probably going to wait for that Graviton Surge till it's about to go away, which would be right about now. Not quite. They may not even need it. Recry picks up a kill onto Luna in the back with the ultimate. Dungan getting a little bit low, though. Oh, it's dangerous. Pop him out of the mech suit. Sabiolbi goes down as well. And Afreeca Blue just going to fight their way through the point without having to use too many ultimates.
That's actually great for Afreeca.
Yeah.
Saved so many ults. And Donghyun in particular not getting an itchy trigger figure with the Graviton Surge.
The last season they were really known for their ult efficiency, and I felt like we finally saw that come back a little bit in the last match, but so far Lighthouse is looking good in terms of not using any more than you need to.
Yeah, LW Blue now in a big hole, but
yep.
They did get nearly 70% to start off the map, so it's not the end of the world quite yet. Now they're building back up very slowly. Donghyun gonna find that Graviton and get nano boosted, but he dies!
That's another nano boost, not working out too well in this game. Sabiolbi trying to find one with the, oh, never mind, we're on board with the Flower now. He's got the nano boost. Gets a kill into Adam. Trying to find one to Arhan, wants to win that Genji duel. He's got some help with the Diva, though. And LW Blue should be able to flip the point again.
Afreeca not being able to actually stave off that assault. The early kills not going their way, and LW Blue using the nano boost to get Flower up to the Dragon Blade, but he again holds on to it. Both teams playing conservatively with their ultimate banks.
Yeah. Hiding behind the fence there. He was a true ninja for a moment. Dragon Blade for Arhan, just goes for it.
Chasing him
down
around
early on, yeah. Now the Dragon Blade for Flower, gonna show him what he can do on the Genji. Arhan away, LW Blue with the sound barrier just to try to stay alive. There's a pulse bomb. 2 kills from Afreeca Blue to try to stay in this one. And Flower can't get back up again. Mano with the primal rage kill there. Ends up dying to the pulse bomb from Sabiolbi, though, and LW Blue is going to hold the point, and they are going to win Ilios.
That's absolutely huge for LW Blue. They remain flawless this season on control, and they make sure they can shut down Afreeca Blue on their best map type, and that sets them up for a lot of success here, because now Afreeca has to overcome some terrible weaknesses on Hybrid and Escort if they want to take this best of 5.
That moves LW Blue to 5-0 on control this season, so they are looking pretty good on that one.
Yeah, they've done it on basically every control map as well, gotten those wins.
And that was actually Afreeca Blue's first competitive loss on Ilios.
Yep. Impressive stuff.
Yeah.
Well, not boding well for Afreeca Blue for the rest of this best of 5. They're going to have to dig really deep. But see if they can pull it out, turn their fortunes around on hybrid. They will have the selection.
Yeah. See what they decide to go with. Hasn't helped them as they are 0 wins on hybrid maps so far this season.
Typically, they haven't been able to pick them, though, so that is also potentially a big difference
it's
here.
A very
because,
good point.
Yeah, they do tend to win on control, so a lot of the time, unless they go to that 5th map, we haven't seen them.
Very good point. See what they pick. Nimbani, Kings Row, and Eichenwald are the choices. Kings Row will be the selection for Afreeca Blue.
They have lost once on Kings Row this season, but so has LW Blue.
All right.
Neither of these teams have won on this map. Somebody will be going home with a Kings Row victory after this game, though, so let's see if Afreeca Blue has anything special up their sleeve.
Yep. So even if they lose Kings Row as well, it's going to be interesting going into the Assault map because LW Blue is 2-2 on Assault this season, and Afreeca generally a little bit stronger on that game type.
But weirdly, both teams have only won on Volskaya.
So that is weird.
If it's not Volskaya, who knows really, right? That's certainly something that could be a weakness for either of these teams.
Yeah. Well, mysteries abound as we continue on going into map 2, Kings Row. Let's see who takes it.
I get it.
Welcome to Kings Row. It's kind of dark in that part of town, though, if you compare it to all the big lights in the background.
It's too many lights in the skyscrapers, Doa.
It is. Can't really see any stars or anything like that. Light pollution, you know.
Terrible.
It is. It is. You know, everywhere they show in Overwatch generally is like a positive, happy vision of the future, but England here, not looking too inspiring.
I don't know. I think the architecture is quite lovely in Kings Row.
It's kind of dark and foreboding, and like,
I mean,
that's
are getting
British.
That's just British weather, Doa. I mean,
guess.
what do you want?
I guess I can't argue with that. That's true. I did like London when I was there a couple years ago.
Beautiful city, yeah. Weather's not beautiful, but the architecture's quite nice.
Well, we live in Seoul, so we're not exactly, we're not exactly too.
We have 6 good months of the year. It is too hot in summer and too cold in winter.
6 is pushing it. We have 2
5 months
seasons. Yeah, maybe 5.
Spring and fall are lovely.
Yeah, winter and summer are abysmal.
Well, LW Blue on the attack here. Don't think we're going to see Gambler
Nation
pulling out the Pharah.
I think that's what I'm looking at. I don't know.
Gambler is switching to Lucio. Okay.
All right.
Flower back onto the Hanzo, however. And
all right. I love watching Hanzo.
Afreeca Blue running a pretty standard composition. Arham will be playing the Diva, which is typically what he goes for when he's not on the Genji.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, looking for those picks on the high ground. Dodging back in. Mano gets a kill on the Mako, so LW Blue have a hard time pushing this one. Yeah, they need to make a bit of an organized retreat. Flower, though, building over halfway to his Dragon Strike, so good start there.
It is, but especially a good start for Amon, who hit a great biotic grenade to prevent the healing, which it caused the Fire Strike to be able to get the killing blow. So he's already at 80% of a nano boost charge.
Not bad.
Making a big difference. Afreeca, or LW rather, was staying rather clumped up, but Scatter Arrow, and that's doing Hanzo things.
Scatter Arrow.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, hi.
Hello, Recry.
Excuse me, Recry. Does he even notice?
Hello?
No. Oh, there he goes.
Just gonna punch him.
I'm getting old. I don't notice when Hanzo jumps up next to me sometimes.
Oh, that was such a clutch Zarya shield.
Punt. Recry gets 2. He's going to take... I need a nap after that. Oh, man. I'm tired. LW Blue with a couple kills in the return, and the long run back, maybe they've got an opportunity. No, Dongyun ends that one, I think, and Luna
actually is
deep behind enemy
bad
lines.
Carrying this for LW Blue.
Oh.
And he's going to get the kill.
Sick. Oh, no! Grandma!
Nobody expects the Reinhardt in upper halls.
That's right. Well, I guess that ends the romantic fan fiction between those two, doesn't it?
I don't know. Maybe that's just what they're into,
I suppose. Romance in 2017 or 2050 something in Overwatch's case, I guess. All right, LW Blue all over the point, though.
Flower
That did not come out right.
killing Recry during the tack visor, picking him off. He was pretty far away from the rest of his team, which was zoned off of the point entirely.
Yeah.
Really nice Ana play from Luna. He got the kill on the high ground on Recry Soldier in the first place.
All right.
Proceeded to pick up a few more as he took control of high ground before getting pinned. But even so, closer respawn timers makes it a great move for LW Blue.
Mako like a shark sneaking around.
Sneaking like a shark.
It's a very sneaky shark. I don't know. Don't question me. Graviton Surge. And there it is, the Dragon Hole. Is it going to be enough damage, though?
It
LW
got eaten
Blue,
by Demon.
I think it did, yeah. I believe it did. And so that's a bit of Aquastar, but LW Blue's like, you know what? I'm just going to win the fight anyway. Scatter Arrow. Hashtag Scatter Arrow. Hashtag Hanzo main. Flower, you're allowed to do it, though.
Some of our Hanzo mains here, Libero and Flower, have looked very good tonight.
Yeah.
And the play payload continues to roll on in spite of a little bit of a disaster there on the Dragon Hole combo. Flower now going to swap over to the McCree as Recry on the Pharah might be a little too much for the rest of his team to handle alone, or for Luna to handle alone. Arhan going to pop that mech way into the back line.
Whoa, no kills with that. But I was going to say, it's hard for Arhan to resist the mech punt in there. Meanwhile, Nano boost onto both Reinhardts. Janus finds himself a little bit low. Mano gets the kill there. Flower not able to really get anything done on the McCree, and Mano's just going to go wild on the Reinhardt.
Yeah, that was an overinvestment of a nano boost. They had already been hit by the biotic grenade, and the Reinhardt was low, so the counter nano boost easily able to take the victory for Afreeca Blue. And LW runs out of tools. Earth Shatter a little bit too overeager there too from Janus.
Yeah. Recry with the defensive Pharah now. Seen it before a couple times. Flower's going to have to use a lot of his attention trying to hunt that Pharah down. And Reinhardt shield getting a little bit low for Afreeca Blue, though. Backing away, Mano goes in with the charge. Mako gets the Zarya shield, though, and Recry goes deep into the back line. Mako with the kill onto, or Mano with the kill onto Mako. Mano, Mako, you say tomato, I say tomato. Recry taken out by Luna, though.
Maybe it's floating a bit too high, but they are still going to push them back. And problem there was when we saw Mako come through with the shield, it was after he had already been pinned successfully for the damage by Mano. So was fighting from a bit behind, got focused down quite easily through his projected barrier.
Afreeca Blue with a lot of ults to work with now. Mako just drops a Graviton Surge. Where's the combo? Earth Shatter from Donghyun in response. There's the barrage from Recry, pushing everybody back, and he's got the nano boost too. Nice E to push Mako a little bit farther forward. Probably gonna get, maybe gonna get a late kill here.
I mean, the bounce back after they tried to follow up.
Oh, Donghyun gets it. Okay, we're good, we're good.
The bounce back after the Graviton Surge went down to push the members of LW away from the clustered team of Afreeca Blue around the crowd control was really nicely done.
Yeah.
And Mano having that Earth Shatter as well. So LW Blue can't actually capitalize on much. They are going to have their own Earth Shatter with 54 seconds remaining. The cart only has a little bit of the way to go through streets, but here comes Donghyun.
Yeah, let's see what they can do. Afreeca needs to have a big hold here. It's less than a minute remaining. Meanwhile, Afreeca Blue, yeah, they are having that hold. Donghyun chasing down Janus, and that's going to be a kill. So with just 30 seconds left, I think LW Blue may just have to settle for 1 point here on Kings Row.
Well, Flower going to make the change over to the Tracer, gets rid of his full ult because he just doesn't have enough time to zone them out with only 20 seconds remaining. So has to go for that sneaky play, try and stay alive on the cart perhaps. I like the change for LW Blue.
12 seconds left. LW Blue back on the cart, pushing it again. Sound
on the side. Sleep dart, sleep dart.
Trying to come down. Recry with the barrage. I don't know, man. Sound barrier for Afreeca Blue as they go for the defense. There's a big barrage coming in, and it looks like they'll be okay. Nano boost for Recry. Oh, he got so low, but he got the heals in time. And Afreeca Blue actually putting on a pretty solid performance here for the first time on a hybrid map. They will hold Lunatic. Too many teams. LW Blue, they'll hold them to 1 point.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Good ult control there. I love what Donghyun was doing with some of the flanks on the Zarya. And the last play there with the positioning, Recry getting behind everybody with the barrage, using the barrage and then having the nano boost to finish off all the low members immediately afterwards. So Afreeca Blue does some good work.
Yeah, they do. And LW Blue, you do not see these guys get stopped early on a map like that too often. Afreeca Blue, I mean, this match is really starting to look like the Afreeca Blue of old, right? I mean, defensively, they were always a very good team last season. Very good about utilizing the ults, very good about setting up these traps for their opponents. Offense is where they really suffered. So we'll see if they got enough in him to push the payload that way, because, you know, full holds are still something that are quite possible on King's Row.
Sure, and LW Blue, though, with this kind of defense, I mean, you expect Afreeca to take a look at a Genji, Roadhog, Reinhardt defense like this and say, okay, we're switching to Pharah immediately. So I hope Afreeca Blue does a quick scout, sends Recry back into the spawn room and gets that Pharah out there as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Hanzo will be a little bit weaker because there's a possibility of a Genji getting on top of him and dealing a lot of damage. Arhan on the Pharah right now. Don't really have any information. We'll see if he sticks onto it, but I don't think LW Blue really wants to go for this. They can always use the soldier and have a more well-rounded defense. They're clearly expecting a Genji from Arhan here.
I mean, I think that's reasonable to expect, and Arhan will actually swap over to the Genji at the very end. See if he makes it work, though. Recry comes in on his own Hanzo now.
He's a pretty good Hanzo player, but
yes, he is
he going to stick with it? I think you probably definitely want to make that change. Over to the Pharah.
Well, he's going for it. I mean, it all depends on kind of how this first attack goes. He hasn't been pressured a whole lot yet. Flower gets a little bit low. Close moment there. There's a hook on the Mano, though. They got him. Sabiolbi lands the hook, and that's going to push Afreeca Blue right back.
So the problem with this plan from Afreeca Blue is they're basically guaranteed to lose the Reinhardt Shield War. Because as it stands, the DPS from Genji and Hanzo is atrocious for breaking Reinhardt shields. The other side, of course, has the Roadhog, which fares a lot better. So the hook, pretty easy to get if you're not actually getting a pick-off. So Recry is going to change, but he's going to change to a McCree.
Okay. Interesting choice. Able to lay a little bit more damage on. And has a flashbang for Flowers, so it's got certainly has some utility. They're going to go in now. They saw the Earth Strike come through. They're charging in. Bubbles on both tanks.
Mono very low, but he's somehow surviving in the back.
Wow, barely got the healing in time, but Afreeca Blue on the point. There's a sound barrier loon. LW Blue gonna try to retake this one.
Too many ultimates.
Gets two.
The Nano Blade just much more efficient for Flower, and he gets slept and hammered down into the pavement of King's Row.
Well, Afreeca Blue had lost a lot of people already, so even if he had stayed alive a little bit longer, that probably wouldn't have been a push and a point A take. They got one tick on the control meter, it looks like. LW Blue with not a lot of ultimates left, though.
It's a big drain on time, though, as we go below 2 minutes on the attack. And Mako wants that angle. He's going to find it, and here comes the whole hog.
Yeah, LW trying to make a Graviton hog work out. Sabiolbi goes down, though. Afreeca Blue with their own sound barrier. Staying alive for the most part.
It's great sound barrier.
That's right. There's a Graviton Surge. Just pulls him off of the point, up in the air. And LW Blue just kind of hanging on for dear life right now. There's some kills, and Donghyun carrying this fight pretty hard. Looks like Afreeca Blue is going to get enough to probably take point A here.
Donghyun's probably been the best player on Afreeca Blue tonight. He's
that way.
Really positioning these Graviton Surges well to allow his team to clean up. Mono also had a good charge on the enemy Reinhardt. Make sure they were going to take that point. Arhan back with another Dragon Blade already.
And Recry got that kill onto Luna too, so LW has to pull that much farther back as they wait for the Ana to respawn. And Recry is going to change. Oh, no, okay. Deciding better of it. was going to be surprised because the Deadeye, you certainly can use that on Street's face here to get a bit more
It's so
distance
good
on the payload.
at zoning that you look at the time and the clock and you say, okay, there's 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. Why not just go for it and see if we can push it that much further, a few meters with the Deadeye,
For
if
sure.
possible. And you know they have to walk up very aggressively to the cart.
Speed walking ahead with the Deadeye. Well, gets a lot of damage done. No kills, but he's certainly softened up LW Blue. Oh, the Earth Shatter enables Flower, though. That's going to be a big Dragon
That was
Blade.
a huge shatter.
Oh, yeah.
But you do wonder if LW Blue overcommitted. 4 ults. The price for that one, nano boost, and it's a great combo there, but it was a big investment when the team still has a lot of time to push the payload afterwards, and definitely the sound barrier was not necessary.
Yeah.
With the shatter that ended up just mauling Afreeca Blue.
Dongyun goes down.
It's a very important pick.
Yep, Mako has the Graviton Surge now, so they've gotten a little bit of stability in their defense. Afreeca Blue making some changes. Recry on the Pharah now.
Yeah, really like that. That's what I wanted to see earlier against this basically exact same composition from LW Blue.
Sneaking like a shark again.
That's how Mako does.
If they don't stick the fin out of the top of the water, they can be sneaky.
In the open water, yes.
Graviton Surge. Where's the follow-up? We'll see. Sound barrier from Afreeca Blue keeps everybody up, and Arhan going to respond with the Nano Blade. And LW Blue, that is not a defensive fight that they wanted. They thought they did. They were wrong.
And now this is getting really desperate for LW Blue. Afreeca on the cusp of taking their first map in this series.
Afreeca doesn't have too much farther to push to get that payload the rest of the way, and LW Blue, man, they're scrambling just to get back to the payload in time.
How are they going to get there?
There's
There's a nano, or they have to block somehow.
Graviton Surge,
Yeah,
pulls
Graviton,
everybody
that's
off.
not going to do it.
And not quite far enough. Reinhardt's run into each other.
Janus just saved that actually by getting forward towards the cart.
Yeah, no kidding. He got there in time, and they got the kills, so somehow, someway they are holding. And Flower has that Dragon Blade, takes out Dongyun, and there's only a minute remaining. LW Blue still has a shot.
Yeah, cart rolling backwards, and now Afreeca gave up a lot of that ult advantage. I think that Graviton was a little bit late. Remember, we're still on patch 1.7, so the Zarya can walk up to the Diva at all times and ult at her feet.
Yeah.
A change hasn't occurred where it's much harder / impossible for the Zarya to do that into the Graviton, or into the defensive matrix, rather.
Recry getting pretty close to the barrage.
Janus getting so sneaky here with the shatter.
Yeah.
I don't know, LW Blue in a really good position with their ult charges to actually hold off the next attack.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they do that, Afreeca Blue may be out of luck. Oh, Sabiobi low, though. Recry nearly had a big pick there. Comes around.
Where's the barrage?
Flower gets
Arhan's
Arhan.
down.
And without Arhan, oh, and they're going to just charge Mano away, too. Low health, Flower going after him, and the sound barrier keeping everybody safe. Recry only gets Gambler with that barrage, and that is it. I don't know if they can get back to the payload in time.
I mean, they're in the brewery, but they have to do a lot of work right now. Desperation nano boost as Dongyun goes down onto the payload.
Yeah, it gets earth shattered, though, or at least I back off because of it. Recry back. The respawns have come in, but Dongyun and Eamon already down. There's the self-destruct coming in. No kills out of that. Meanwhile, Arhan with the Dragon Blade he wasn't able to use earlier. Recry did get the kill onto Luna. There's a reflect. Arhan still full health. Afreeca Blue not out of this one quite yet. And now LW, the ones trying to fight for their lives here. Sound barrier, Mano gets 2. If you count the Diva suit. Oh, it's so close, man. What a brawl on the payload. We're into overtime now, but Arhan staying alive. There's the Dragon Blade now for Flower. Flower goes down, though. No, but he gets Arhan first. And Afreeca Boost on the payload. Pulse Bomb. Mano flies back in. Recry with the kill onto Gambler. And Afreeca, they may have been able to do it.
They're still pushing. There isn't Ana alive. Luna can try and push forward to the car. Where is the rest of his team?
Man.
They've got to get there.
Winston with the nano boost on the payload. Trying to push everybody back. He gets Eamon, but then he gets earth shattered. Mano comes in. Sabiobi does not last in the payload. Oh, it's so close. I can't believe this hasn't ended yet. OT is just insane. Gambler trying to get back. One good boop would do it. The OT will drop immediately if they get pushed off the payload. Sound barrier for LW Blue, but not on too many members. This is the craziest fight I've ever seen on Kings Row. Afreeca, they may just have it as soon as they finish off Mako, though. Can he stay alive? Meanwhile,
is
Flower
ulting.
back again. Yeah, but the kills for Afreeca Blue. Symbiote, oh, he dodges the Earth Shatter. What a performance. There's the, oh, he can't do it. The Pulse Bomb, not enough. And Afreeca, a hard-fought match, but they will win Kings Row.
I'm really impressed.
Their first hybrid win of the season.
Well, this is the right time to do it, Doa.
Yeah.
When you're on the cusp of elimination, battling back. It was an incredibly tense battle on Kings Row, but Afreeca Freecs Blue manages to pull it out on their map selection.
Yeah. Well, this one's not over by a long shot. Afreeca Blue, but you know the thing is LW really nearly held on to that one. That was very, very close.
They had the respawn advantage as well that late into point B.
Yeah.
But Arhan actually did save that one by coming back to the point with the Dragon Blade advantage and picking up the crucial kills that started the snowball that they were able to grind through until the very end. Looked promising there with the nano-boosted Winston, but shut down by the Earth Shatter, and they lost a lot of the damage that they would have had.
That was so close. LW Blue finds themselves all tied up in a match that I think they were kind of expecting to win pretty easily here. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, map number 3, LW Blue's choice, and we'll see who gets some momentum going again in this best of 5, a battle for survival. Don't miss it right after this here on Overwatch Apex Season 2. Welcome back to Overwatch Apex Season 2. And we're all tied up. LW Blue couldn't quite handle Afreeca Blue on Kings Row. Afreeca Blue gets their first hybrid win of the season. And they got a little bit of new life in this series.
And now the battle for Assault begins with both teams only having wins on Volskaya this season. 3-1 for Afreeca Blue and 2-2 on Assault for LW Blue, but approximately the same. And will LW Blue choose to venture away from Volskaya?
I wonder. I mean, we'll see if it's even an option here.
I think it's Volskaya and Hanamura tonight, so we shall see.
LW Blue. I mean, we did see them kind of fall apart earlier in the week against Kongdu Panthera. If things start to go even worse from here on out, you do have to wonder about kind of this team's mental state in these high pressure situations.
Well, coach is in the booth now, so having a chat with Luna at the back and the rest of the team.
It's an interesting match, that's for sure.
I don't think that you're too upset if you lost that last one. If you're LW Blue, it was extremely close.
I feel like I saw Temple of Anubis on the computers there for the lobby. I could have been wrong, but I thought that's what I saw. Let's find out. Let's see how good my eagle eyes are on this tiny monitor in front of me.
It will be Temple.
Or Hanamura, but I think I was right.
Yeah, the first match was Volskaya and Hanamura, so.
Yeah, and it is Temple of Anubis. Okay, so one of these teams is going to get their first win on this map this season.
I'm glad we're not seeing Volskaya because I'm curious how both of these teams do when they're not on that map. And
yeah.
A little bit of a potential challenge here for Afreeca Blue, although now, out of the two maps, this is the easier one to run the Genji on. So I guess Arhan and the rest of the team is probably pretty happy with that when it comes to point A.
I mean, if you look at the team's strengths too, I mean, Flowers of Biolby, you can run like a, Widowmaker Tracer or something on this too. So you can see why they picked it. At the same time, we've seen Recry play the Widowmaker himself. We know he can do it. They may just bypass it altogether. I'm wondering if we're going to see any more of this Zenyatta-Ana support duo.
Yeah,
this would be a map we'd see it on.
Absolutely. I think that's a great point. You can run a lot of these Ana Zenyatta dive compositions on a map like Temple of Anubis and really make the most out of your Discord orb.
I like it a lot. Discord people blowing up. Let's see who takes the lead in this best of 5. Afreeca Freecs Blue versus LW Blue on Temple of Anubis. Let's go time. Well, I hear some cheers. All right. I think a little bit louder cheer for
LW. Oh, for LW.
I thought it was. Okay, so apparently it wasn't a very good cheer for either team. I have a hard time telling.
Hey, it could have been good cheers for both teams, but it's still a hard time telling.
They were quiet cheers, so they were not good cheers. That's established. Recry has yet to change his sprays, apparently.
He doesn't need to change his sprays. Go with the classic. Doesn't need to bog himself down in selecting sprays before the match.
What? Come on. You might as well just say you don't need a personality.
Maybe he just forgot to focus on the match at hand. Regardless, Afreeca Blue running a more or less dive composition on the defense, perhaps suspecting that Flower will be playing this Widowmaker.
So Biolby on the Roadhog, though.
Yep, back on the Roadhog yet again. And they did have a lot of success with that on Ilios. Remember how Biolby was playing around, waiting for them to dive Flower's Widowmaker and then getting the pick. So it worked once before. Let's watch Biolby's positioning and see how he plays around Flower.
Yeah.
And you can see him holding back. So they're looking to get that damage done.
Close. You gotta watch that reflect, man. Everyone's ready for that. That's Biolby sneaking through the upper areas.
Oh, he finds
on
Ana.
Ammon. Yeah, takes Ammon down early. Good start for LW Blue. They need to mitigate Arhan, and they do. Sabiobi going crazy on this Roadhog right now. Yeah, getting a little bit low there. Has to take a breather, but he'll be okay. Dongyun falls as well, and I don't think Recry is going to last too much longer on that Tracer. Great start for LW Blue. That's going to be a point A take, most likely.
I mean, when you run these kind of pick comps where you can just one-shot somebody with a Roadhog or a Widowmaker, it becomes very dangerous. And honestly, Amlon's positioning has not been very good tonight overall, and he finds himself just easily picked off by a Roadhog.
They are actually trying to defend this here. Sending everybody they got, and that could be a problem. Sabiobi gets a kill on the Mano. Luna did go down. Flower getting a little bit low, so Afreeca Blue making a show of it at least. I'm a little bit low. Ooh, wow, winning the sniper duel is Ammon, the Ana. Sabiobi pops a whole hog. Afreeca Blue finally pushed back. Looks like that's going to be the point they take, and now they've got time to rush the point and see what they can do.
Absolutely. Mono getting close to the Primal Rage. Arhan nearing the Dragon Blade right now, but LW Blue is going to be coming in with a Nano Boost. They've nearly got the Graviton, so LW Blue didn't invest quite as much into the point A take.
They didn't quite rush point B.
They're waiting for the Graviton.
Yep, that's right. Biding their time with the ultimates here. Somebody got the Nano Boost. I think it was Arhan. Yep, Arhan has the Dragon Blade out in the back. Mako trying to chase him down. They get the kill. He does kill Gambler before they can get to him, though. So LW Blue will probably have to fall back. They got a couple picks of their own, but not enough to push a point like Anubis. You need a more definitive fight to really take that one.
But Afreeca Blue used all of their ults in order to make that happen. Mono swaps over to the Reinhardt now, but LW Blue, even though they commit to the Nano Boost, they maintain the Graviton Surge. Flower off the Widowmaker now. That's definitely the right call. Going to be taking the Genji, and Arhan, is he going to go for Diva? He's going to go for Sombra. Okay,
nice. I like it. You hack the big health pack down the bottom here. That takes away a lot of emergency healing from the attacking team. And you find yourself with your ultimate most fights if you do this, so it can work well. Mako coming in, use that Graviton Surge. Where's the follow-up? Nice biotic grenade to try to keep Afreeca Blue up, but Flower coming in with the Dragon Blade out, gets quite a few. Or not the Dragon Blade, just himself. Comes out with just himself. Gets the kills. LW Blue getting a ton of time on the control meter. Hook attempt. Misses as Recry tries to keep everything alive. And now the sound barrier is going to bring Afreeca Blue back onto the payload, or the point. I love payloads, apparently. That's what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, this is looking pretty poor for Afreeca now as Arhan gets trapped behind the ice wall. And waiting on that May to break, and that's going to be it.
GG, wow. Really fast take for LW.
LW Blue played that very nicely. So they traded one ult for two on the push, but because they won point A, and because LW, or Afreeca Blue rather, they tried a little bit too hard to stall out on point A and used a bunch of ults.
Yeah.
So then they get more or less dry pushed with just the Nano Boost coming out of LW Blue. So when we see the good job that Mako did of holding on to the Graviton Surge, they can make a very impactful play right off the bat against LW Blue, or against Afreeca Blue, and make sure that the attack is going to push through.
Right.
So LW comes out 4.5 minutes. Great time for a double cap.
Yeah, very, very quick for a map like Temple of Anubis. And now Afreeca Blue on the attack. Recry right away on that Widowmaker like we kind of suspected he'd be on. Ooh, but a change. What will it be? It's still Widowmaker. We'll see. We'll see if he sticks with it. I think that's most likely what they're going to run based on what they like to do on these kinds of maps, but yeah, we'll see.
I'd be really surprised if we saw the solo Roadhog without a Reinhardt or a Winston on Afreeca's side.
Yeah. Could run the Pharah, I suppose.
Yeah, you can run the Pharah against this composition. A little bit riskier with Sabielby on the Soldier.
Yeah, do you really expect Sabielby to be on the Soldier, though? I feel like you might expect him to be on the Roadhog here.
I mean, you expect Sabielby to be on Roadhog, Tracer, or Soldier. One of those three almost all the time. And I don't think you'd really run Tracer on defense on point A. There's just a little too much verticality to it, and there's a lot of value in holding that high ground with a Soldier and being able to use those long sight lines a little bit better. But Recry is going to go for McCree instead.
Okay.
However, they're going to have a hard time really disrupting the soldier on the high ground with only the Genji and the Winston.
He was looking for Flower and he found him. Hiding off to the side. After the health pack just in time and are on zone a little bit.
This is going to be a great time to be Sabioldi. He's got so much protection. He's got more members of his team that can reposition onto the high ground, and Mano's going to go down immediately. Hey, Sabioldi has no pressure.
Yeah.
He has zero pressure with the composition that Afreeca is running. Because even if they dive up there, there's just more members that can immediately respond to that on the side of LW Blue. Brutal split spawn.
Oh, that Ana died so much later. You know, I'm a little bit surprised with how good Mano looked on the Winston in their last match, with how he seems to be struggling in this best of 5.
A lot of the time, I'm kind of wondering where Donghyun's bubbles on this Winston are, or if LW Blues is playing quite well around them.
We'll go back and watch the VODs, see if we can pick that apart.
So they're going to try the long flank, but again, nobody's able to really get back to deal with Sabioldi, and they're going to just intercept them in the hallway, and Recry very low. Janus has to get out there, will fall with the biotic grenade on him.
Yeah, good pick for Afreeca Blue. Aron, meanwhile, jumps onto the high ground, now going after Mako, who's forced away on that Diva.
Nice kill.
Not working out Recry with a great shot. And Afreeca Blue should have point A here. Oh, I don't know about that tac visor. That was not advisable.
Huge waste from LW Blue.
You know, we talked about Afreeca Blue overcommitting on the defense on point A. LW Blue just way outdid them in the overcommitment department.
And guess what, Doa? Guess who's going to have 6 ults?
I see it.
This is a train wreck for LW Blue.
Yeah, this is an ult-apocalypse in the making for Afreeca Blue. Nanoblade for Arhan, going after some victims. Gets hooked! Gets taken out by Sabioldi. Not a good start for Afreeca Blue, but they've got more to use. Donghyun taken down, and oh man.
This is a disaster for Afreeca Blue.
Seriously.
They used 2 ults onto Arhan, but Arhan was not in line of sight for the sound barrier. So he didn't get the shield, and he was just bursted down by the focus fire from LW Blue. So goodbye 6 ult advantage. And that's it. LW Blue going to hold for a while now.
I mean,
they have self-destruct up, so...
That was Afreeca Blue's
really
only chance to match the time bank for LW.
That coordination on the ults from Afreeca Blue was absolutely terrible.
Yep. Can't disagree with that. Arhan. Get a little bit more done. Goes to the big health pack. Did not get it. Oh, Janus maybe actually did not get that one. So, good start for Afreeca Blue. 5 minutes left.
Self-destruct is here, though. They've got to get a lot more time.
Oh, yeah. Now, Recry takes out Flower. Donghyun still has that Graviton Surge. Wasn't able to use it last fight. They got a little bit of control percent going now. It's a charged Zarya.
It certainly is. And they're starting to at least push this up with those quick picks. Flower with the Dragon Blade finally gets a nano boost, but can he actually take anybody else? Gets one.
That was a really optimistic Dragon Blade, but he actually made it work. Meanwhile, the Electric Cowboy walks into town. He's going to get ran out of town on a rail pretty fast, so it looks like. Not all the way out of town, just to the edge of town.
It's going to be enough,
Small
though.
town.
It's going to be enough, though, to hold.
Yeah.
And the last thing Donghyun does is de-suit a Diva before dying. Not impactful. Sabiel will be coming around the side with the Tracer. And, yeah, that nano boost and the Dragon Blade just enough, especially to keep Flower alive while he was flashbanged by Recry. They're getting more time, just drifting away from Afreeca Blue now. Still have a lot left in the time bank to actually take this point, but they will be at a disadvantage no matter what.
Right. And down to about 3:45 now. LW Blue, all they need to do is hold point B. You'll be definitely in a little bit of trouble here. Arhan, though, did I say trouble? I'm sorry, Arhan. I've cast or cursed you again. It happens sometimes. And Janus with the Primal Rage has Afreeca Blue pretty much trapped in the cave. Or the catacombs, whatever you want to call it. It's not good for Afreeca Blue.
The dark room.
The dark room. They're in a dark place.
They're in a dark place, getting slapped by a monkey against the walls while many people with weapons destroy them, making it look easy. LW Blue.
Yeah. That's got to be top 10 in the list of sentences I never thought I'd hear a human being say.
It's all right. Video games do that for us, though. It's great.
It is true. It's really expanded the potential of the English language, or any language.
Okay.
Oh, that was hook.
Another
got broke though.
another flank through the dark room.
In a dark
There's,
place.
there's no target for a Graviton.
Recry comes in with the ultimate. Uh-oh! That did not work out. Flower with 2 on the Dragon Blade. Sound barrier not coming through in time. Adam a little bit slow on the trigger, and because of that, Recry never gets to pull it.
I mean, it's really hard to tell whether, because of the weak coordination of Afreeca Blue on this map, if it's Adam's fault that the sound barriers are coming at awkward times, or if they're just not coordinating and communicating well as a team. But regardless, the sound barriers on some of these attacks have been suboptimal.
When you hear the Dragon Blade come out and your McCree is ulting, I think that's a good time to hit Q.
Yeah, fair enough. LW Blue, you can see they were awaiting. They still know that Donghyun has the Graviton. That's why they were all split up on the point, and the Diva was so far away. There was never an opportunity for Donghyun to use that, and the Genji dashing in doesn't give you enough time.
It's a hard time finding times to use those Graviton surges in general in these attacks. He's going for it, just lobs it in from downtown. Meanwhile, Arhan with the Dragon Blade. Flower the one picking up kills, though. There's the self-destruct, and LW Blue holding the point for the moment. Flower did go down.
But it's a 3-for-1 trade, right? So not a big deal if you lose your Genji to a Dragon Blading Genji in that fight. They already had the defensive setup they needed. And you can see Donghyun was getting desperate. He wants to change to the Roadhog, so he sort of just chucked it out there.
We went on with Arhan's camera angle right after the Graviton Surge came out, but I think it may have been eaten by Mako as well. I don't recall seeing it during the rest of that fight. Could have just been the camera angles, but...
I just think they had no follow-up.
Well, there was definitely no follow-up. That's for sure. But there may have been no ult either. Afreeca Blue coming in from the side. Only the Nano Boost to work with. There's a hook on the Mako. Good start there. Popping him out of the Diva suit right away. Nano Boost onto Mano. Got to make something happen with it. Gets it with the Sleep Dart, though. And Flower with the Nano Blade again. I think we're seeing who the more successful Genji is tonight.
Oh, we're definitely seeing who has the team that positions better around the Genji at the very least.
That's for sure.
Flower much more in tune with the rest of his roster, and
about 30 seconds left for Afreeca Blue to make something happen now.
I mean, it's enough time. They already have 2 ticks, so at least that's going for them. But even if they cap it, Doa, you're looking at more time bank being added onto LW Blue. They'll have a healthy over 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And Amon gets killed by Sabiolbi. That is the worst time for that to happen.
Well, I mean, that's
and
basically
Recry dies to Luna.
That's
Hey,
it, man.
That's it.
Yeah. LW Blue going to win Temple of Anubis. There's no way they can get people back in time unless Arhan has like the biggest Dragon Blade of his career right now. But no, he dies. Flower gets the kill. Earthshatter comes through. They're not even going to get to the point. LW Blue crushes on Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, the picks really slowing down Afreeca Blue. And now this is the worst scenario for Afreeca Blue. Sure, they broke their hybrid curse, but now they have to win every hybrid and escort map in this best of 5 to win the best of 5, which is the worst possible scenario for Afreeca Blue, and makes things certainly look quite grim.
I would have to agree with you there. It's Afreeca Blue's choice, of course, on what the escort map will be, but they're 1-0-3 on the season for escort, so it's not like it's really mattered much in the past. Although, to be fair, they've won a lot of their assault maps, so they haven't gotten to choose the escort map again. There is that.
There are those factors to be considered.
It's a similar situation to when we
hybrid.
came into hybrid, yeah. Interestingly enough.
Still a big ask for Afreeca.
Well, it's do or die, man. I mean, they need to win this next map or they are out of Apex Season 2. Runner-up in Season 1, possibly going out in the quarterfinals here.
Fist bumps, so spirits still looking high on LW Blue. You heard him in the interview saying that they lost a lot of focus. It sounded like a tilting situation against Hongdu when they started to fall after winning the first 2 maps. But they bounced back from a loss tonight, and Dorado will be picked by Afreeca.
Okay. So yeah, Dorado will be the map. And I mean, you know the LW Blue players are thinking the same thing we are, right? Where this is the situation you want to put Afreeca in.
Oh yeah, perfect. You're ecstatic if you're here and you're against Afreeca Blue.
Yep. Well, it all comes down to this. For Afreeca Blue, their season on the line. They need to do what they have only done once this season and win an escort map. Might be kind of tough.
It's definitely going to be tough for them to win the next 2 maps, but they showed it off. They showed they could push through on King's Row, so maybe, just maybe, they can come out with a victory on the payload maps alone.
We will see. Time to get into the game and see if Afreeca Blue can stay alive or if LW Blue will be the ones moving on to fight for that last semifinal spot in Apex Season 2. Let's get in the game and see who takes it.
I get it.
Welcome to Dorado. So lifetime, Afreeca Blue is 0-3 on this map. They have never won it in competitive play.
Yeah, some of that, though, is going to be with a different roster. So.
Sure, yeah, some of those stats are older, but still. It was a little bit of drama until you ruined it there.
Sorry,
so,
well, I have to ruin it with reality.
So much for that. Yeah, this is not about reality, man. We're watching a giant space gorilla slap an old Egyptian lady around in a tomb. Like, what? Where's the realism you're looking for here?
I know, but it has to be at least accurate to the circumstances of those things occurring, which is only present season with these 2 rosters, considering the roster changes that went through.
Fair enough. Here, I'll let you get away with that.
That's very benevolent of you to let me get away with it.
I
consider it just being right, but you can let me get away with being right, I guess.
I do that once in a while. It's true.
The Roadhog, or the Junkrat, rather.
Junkrat in a bush. And we will not have the offensive Junkrat, I don't think.
I find Junkrat quite offensive on attack.
I find him offensive whenever anyone plays with my solo queue games.
Now, Reekroy going with the Pharah. Not too much of a surprise here. He will be drifting around the long way to get the rockets in. LW Blue does have Flower on the Soldier. This has been a rarity, but Sabielby has been insisting on the Roadhog to some pretty good effect in this series, and they're probably not expecting Flower to go back to that because it hasn't been a specialty of his this particular season as we got in later and later.
That is a fair that people are going to have a very hard time getting to. You know, Arhan pushed away with that Biotic grenade, dives in, gets a kill to Giannis in the end anyway. LW Blue with 2 kills. It's pretty even up on the offense on the defense. Flower getting a little bit low though. Recry, this has been a very successful Pharah so far. And oh, did I say 6? I'm sorry, I did it again. I cast her curse him. I'm sorry, man.
Luna's
can't stop.
Luna's doing a really good job tonight of picking up clutch kills onto the Yana. Saw it on King's Row, and then another one there to push them back. It started off looking so good because Afreeca Blue had the right idea. Get them softened up from behind with the Pharah, and then try and dive in with the Genji. We saw LW Blue match them in terms of kills, and the Pharah wasn't able to mop up. Instead, it was the Ana and the Soldier from LW.
They've got the Graviton Surge and the Tac Visor to work with now. Recry going way in the back again.
Yeah, Luna going to be getting the Nano Boost very quickly off of the chip damage taken by some of his tanks.
So annoying to deal with that Pharah back there, but LW Blue has done it well so far. They do, of course, have the 6v5 advantage if they decide to just go all in. Mano drops the, gets dropped actually. Recry still firing tons of rockets, getting tons of free damage. And Afreeca Blue winning that fight in a big way.
Yeah, I like what we see from Afreeca Blue. Just be patient. Flower doesn't have a chance to use the Tac Visor. Luna with no Nano Boost in that fight. But they're going to have another opportunity to stop the cart. And they're actually delaying this really quite a long time.
Yeah, well, Gambler gets himself pretty badly split spawned during all that. But.
Yeah, but everybody else is going to be able to make it back and contest. And they're going to contest with a nice handful of ultimates. Recry's going to have to be careful about his positioning. They're going to pop through. Donghyun going to stop them from... Oh, nice kill, actually. Gets Flower during the Nano Boost.
Yeah, pretty solid barrage, too, from Recry.
That was really well done.
Yeah. And Janice doesn't really have a whole lot of support here. It looks like Afreeca Blue should be able to just finish off this fight, push the payload through to the end of point A.
Great value for the barrage. Taking out a Nano Boost Attack Visor Soldier. Knew that they were going to come in through the side there and try and push it. One of the chokes was covered by the Graviton Surge, and the other one was just barraged as a zoning mechanism, and it ends up yielding a couple of kills. LW Blue not as careful as they could be on that attack. And good read there by Afreeca.
You know LW Blue's got to be having, you know, a little bit of nightmare flashbacks to the last time they played on Dorado against Kungdu Panthera. And Janice forgot to touch the payload at the end of their offensive round. And if they let Afreeca Blue push much farther, I think it's going to make them very nervous about their offensive round.
Yeah, sure will, but Jonas is going to drop down onto the cart. Duncan wants to be able to use that Graviton Surge again. Arhan in the back lines.
Yeah, nano boost for Arhan. Looking for some kills. And they're not going to get Saluna, I suppose. Either way, the fight's being won by Afreeca Blue. They have to use the sound barrier to keep people up, but they'll take it.
Yeah, worthwhile. And that forces Flower to make a change, too. Now somebody has to deal with Arhan. Sabiolby went over to the Tracer and got some damage, but couldn't actually kill Recry, easily healed up by the Ana. And they drop all their ultimates, so Streets phase going extremely well for Afreeca. They nearly get it, and that's not going to be a successful flashbang.
Nano boost on Janus, but he's trapped in the Graviton Surge, and that's going to waste a lot of that time. Gets back into the payload at the end. A kill apiece, while Mano having to back off on that Reinhardt for the moment. Gambler goes down, so Afreeca Blue still on the payload for the moment.
They're trying to stall this out at the very end, and no one's pressuring Luna or Flower right now.
Well, except for Arhan jumping up there now, but he gets taken out, and LW Blue, they'll hold it. That's a great place to hold the payload, too.
They were trying to focus down the Winston, Jonas on the payload, but he just kept getting healed up by Luna.
Yeah.
And it was free shooting, basically, for both Luna and Flower. Sabiolby gets back into the mix to mop it up, but a lot of that damage just from the controlling of the high ground.
And Arhan gets nice shots in from the side with the left click. The Razor Shurikens.
Force a lot of them down. And Mako's going to die with a Graviton.
Wow. That is tragic for LW Blue, but Afreeca Blue, we'll see if they can change this or chain this into a push here.
Gotta do something, but Mano's nearly dead, and Sabiolby finds him on the side, and that's gonna be a big Deadeye.
Both supports getting caught by the Deadeye. Flower does go down in the end, but either way, it's Arhan on his own, and he's not gonna last too much longer.
Recry's gotta sprint away to avoid getting jumped on by the Winston and the respawning members of LW Blue. LW Blue holding a massive ult advantage.
Oh, Janus going deep, just pushing Recry away now. Sabiolby, oh, that's sneaky. Oh, he gets spotted though.
Wanted to get that really sneaky pick off with the pulse bomb onto one of the supports, but
it was worth a try.
Sniffed out. He's still going to look for it. Just going to look for it a different way.
Yeah. Going in on Anna. There's a wow, big bang. Sabiolby gets
that
two.
Was a great big bang. Definitely not expected. They thought they had chased the Tracer away, but instead the Graviton Surge manages to land.
Arhan did kill Gambler, and Arhan's taking out Sabiolby as well, so it's not over yet. Arhan trying to be a hero here. He gets Mano. No, Flower gets Mano, and that's going to be it. No one's going to get to the payload. And Afreeca Blue stalled out at around the same place that LW Blue was in their offensive round last match against
Kings Row. Oh, yeah.
It was on Dorado,
yeah, you're right. Exactly the same place. Again, right before point B2, we're going to see a very similar game to the one we saw in Kings Row, or to the one we saw in the previous matchup for LW on Dorado.
That's right.
And wow, it was a long flank attempt there by Afreeca, and they got baited into an even worse situation with the Tracer after the Graviton Surge landed onto the high ground.
Well, that was just such a great setup by
it was really
LW
nice.
Blue. Sabiolby just being so sneaky, being very patient, finding that great pulse bomb opportunity, and that's all they needed. So the yellow parking spot on the ground right there is all the distance LW Blue needs to push this payload to win this best of 5.
Hopefully,
send Afreeca Blue out of the tournament.
Hopefully LW Blue won't forget to get on the payload at this exact spot this time around.
One wonders. It is basically the same spot, so it's a chance for a little bit of Kings Row redemption for LW Blue.
Jonas will get close enough to the payload to trigger overtime.
That's in theory. In theory.
Okay. Arhan,
who is the better blue?
Choosing the Diva. And Recry on the McCree, anticipating the Genji. from LW Blue, but is Sabielby going to stick to the Pharah, which has been Flower's typical hero? And no, they will be selecting full dive, so probably a Winston here from Jonas.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Trying to just rush in, get some kills, get some free pushing done on the payload. Afreeca Blue, they really want to just full hold this.
So are they going to jump up? How fast they can jump on the high ground here? When you're running this kind of composition, you do have a trouble fighting in this first choke without a Reinhardt shield, and you have to be a little bit more aggressive with trying to take the long way or jump over some of this terrain with the Winston into the back lines to get a lot of value. Flower going the real long way around. He's going to poke.
I'm
like
Farah now.
Yeah, exactly. Like we would see a Pharah, but D.Va's going to make his life difficult.
Yeah, Arhan, I think the D.Va was a good choice to handle this, although LW Blue already has the payload through the choke.
Why did they just give up the choke like that? That's really unusual.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I'm like, how in the world did they get it that far? Janus does go down, so Afreeca Blue going to get a little bit of stability going on their defense, but yeah, allowing the payload to go that far is risky. Very risky.
For sure, considering that they don't have a Reinhardt shield to really push behind, and they don't need it if the payload has been advanced that far. Flower, Recry has his number.
Yeah, it seems that way.
But he's got a lot of angles to cover, and the payload is still moving.
Yep. Recry doing what he can, but that Winston shield is so annoying to get through if you're McCree. There's a Deadeye. Oh, Electric Cowboy, and he turns, fan the hammer. Nice cancel on the Deadeye. Takes out Flower, and
that
now grabs another one.
Great McCree play.
Yeah.
First off, he waited right as soon as the Winston bubble went down to pop it, and then canceled the Deadeye to shut down Flower, who had dashed in the back line.
Now you get a full clip again when you cancel the Deadeye too, so one of those rare cases where you can chain that into a nice fan the hammer.
That was sick.
Yeah. It's a really nice play from Recry.
Would have been better if Flower had had the Dragon Blade and used it. That way you can get rid of his ult, but you'll take that one.
Sure, yeah. All right, Luna has the nano boost. LW Blue in a good position to take this. They've got the ults to use it with. There we go, nano boost now onto Flower. They give him the sound barrier too to keep him up, and Afreeca already on the run. And out of the way, there's the self-destruct from Arhan. Finds Sabielby with that, somehow not able to get under cover with the Tracer. A little bit shocking that he got caught by that. But Afreeca Blue winning this fight for the moment.
Wants to use the Deadeye. Everybody hiding behind the pillars now and not going to find a target during the Primal Rage from Winston, but he'll take out Flower as he flicks from behind the column, and Recry is just hard carrying Afreeca Blue right now.
Every once in a while you have these games where you get reminded of just how great a McCree Recry is. Oh, don't do that. That's dangerous. Those bullets are going to come down somewhere, Recry.
No, I think that was his Yosemite Sam moment where he's just firing into the air in excitement.
Yeehaw. Come on, McCree.
Okay, Luna.
Ooh, all right.
On the Zenyatta.
Yeah, we've got the Zenyatta edition now. They decide they need that Discord orb. Can't argue with that. And they need time. You're not. Okay, there we go. Mekla throws in the self-destruct. And he kills with that. No, not quite. Dongyun does go down, though. It's a good start for LW Blue. Sabielby sells a pulse bomb. He's been a health first with the recall, though.
All right, grab the Reinhardt.
Onto the Reinhardt. Low health. Flower finishes Mano off. Sabielby turns around the side. They're looking for Recry now. Recry does get the kill on Janus.
That's
LW Blue, though, winning this one. Yeah, that fight's definitely going to go the LW Blue way. 20 seconds remaining, so it was close. But they will buy themselves another 230 or so with that point A take.
Still not looking great. Afreeca Blue coming into this next fight with a nice ult advantage. Sabielby switching to the soldier right now as they seek to plant themselves onto the high ground.
It's a dangerous place for Luna to go. But he makes it back in time. Trying to go for that surprise pick with the right click.
Graviton straight onto the ground, not going to do anything.
Well, Recry stopped up, wasn't able to use the Deadeye. Gets the suit, but that's about it.
Oh man, that Graviton really didn't work out. There was nobody there to provide the necessary follow-up onto the Zarya ultimate. They stall out the payload by having their tank line still there.
Yeah.
But we really hoped for something a little bit better than that with that many ults used.
Luna's got the Transcendence now too, so they're ready for, you know, I was going to say Dragon Blade, but Arhan's on the D.Va this time, so they're ready for something. Self-destruct does not help. Flower.
He doesn't.
Yeah. Trying to chase down Sebulbe. They actually find him. A little bit separated from the rest of his team on that Soldier 76.
Yeah, he got chased right into the museum with virtually no HP and no backup, and now,
you know, some of the falling apart that we saw from LW Blue in their match against Kongnu Panthera, I think it's starting to show up again a bit here.
yeah, you got to say that it is. And even though they don't have a good nano boost target right now, Afreeca Blue going to be strong in this one. LW Blue, since they went to the Zenyatta, they're not running the Ana Zenyatta combo, so they actually have no nano boost here. But tons of defensive ultimates. They can ride out so much with a trance and a sound barrier if they properly stagger them.
They're going to have to. Deadeye, maybe finding a kill on Janus. No, he gets out of cover in time. Electric Cowboy dropping down. Mano goes down though. Recry still has a little bit of nano boost yet. Can't really get as much as he wanted. Sebulbe jumping down from behind with the attack visor, but there's a sound barrier and he gets hooked. Ammon, Dongyun rather, with the kill. Flower with the Dragon Blade though, looking to try to equalize, get the payload moving maybe.
He's got to do it, though. Has 25 seconds left, and they used absolutely everything. But
that's a problem.
It is moving. However, Reinhardt coming back into the mix right now, and there's not enough damage to actually take them out. Arhan also has self-destruct to push everybody off the payload in OT.
This is it. This is the defense Afreeca Blue needs to keep their season alive.
I mean, they've got self-destruct and they have whole hog. How do you stay on the payload?
Oh, Gambler doesn't. He dies. Well, he does stay on the payload, dies because of it. Big Earth Shatter comes in from Mano. They're still going to chase. There's a self-destruct from LW. Doesn't pick up much. They've lost half their team now, and Afreeca Blue looks like they're actually going to win a payload map. I think they've got it.
I think they do too.
Wow,
it's going to tick down.
it.
But to be fair, Afreeca Blue had the self-destruct and the whole hog and the sound barrier at the end of that. If you're trying to make a final push in overtime, there is almost no way you could stay on the payload long enough. I do think that they may have used the self-destruct a little bit too early before overtime began, but you simply are not going to be able to stick to the payload if you're LW Blue under those conditions. Like the perfect storm of ultimates for Afreeca to have right as that map ends.
Right.
And everything's going to either just kill you instantaneously with the self-destruct or push you back off.
And now we come to it. Another best of 5 and another game 5 with LW Blue. They couldn't get the win against Kongnu Panthera, and if you look at those faces in the booth right now, you really got to wonder if this team just simply can't handle the pressure.
All right, they have to hold it together. We know they're an excellent team when they're on, but it seems like once they start losing, they just lose harder and harder.
Yeah. Well, they've won, they've lost, they've won, they've lost. And now, one game, one map to decide who goes on to the final match in Group B and gets to fight for that spot in the semifinals. It's going to be an escort map. Nimbani, Eichenwald, the two choices. You'd imagine Afreeca would rather play on Eichenwald, which is why Nimbani gets chosen by LW Blue.
We'll see if they have a great strat in place to work against Afreeca Blue here, or if Afreeca has shored up their hybrid maps enough. They took their first hybrid win of the season earlier tonight, and now LW Blue on the ropes.
Yeah. How crazy would it be for Afreeca Blue to actually make it through this match?
I think you're really disappointed if you're LW Blue at that point in time. I mean, it's not even losing to Afreeca Blue in and of itself, which would be an upset. It's the fact that you let the worst team on hybrid and escort maps in the playoff 3-0 you on those map types. That would be appalling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what can you say? LW Blue, certainly not at that same level we're used to seeing from them all season long, but they got to get back there again. If they can take it. If not, Afreeca Blue will move on. It's a battle for survival. Whoever wins this map stays alive in Apex. Let's get in the game and see who takes it. welcome to Nimbani. Some cheers going out. LW Blue getting the bigger cheer. But can they get the win? It's been a weird best of 5. It has not been super clean, not been super well played. With as good as LW Blue Kongdu Panthera was, this one
it's been a little sloppier for sure.
It has been, yeah.
Afreeca Blue showing up though on some of these payload maps, looking significantly stronger. Maybe more comfortable with a few more days of practice under their belts with some of these role swaps that they've undergone. Dongyun, I think, has been Afreeca Blue. Yeah, Dongyun's been quite good tonight overall.
What do you think about Mako? He's on the screen, so talk about him. What do you think about Mano? He's on the screen, so talk about him.
Mano's doing better on the Reinhardt and worse on the Winston. And Mako, I think, he's having the same problem that he did against Kongdu, which is that he starts showing up big at the beginning of the match, but it seems like the longer these best of series drag on, the more invisible he becomes. Flower going back to the Pharah.
Yep. And Luna on the 76. They're going for the 3 DPS attack that they use against Kongdu.
Yep, Sabiel will be taking over.
Checking for the Bastion. Checking for the Torbjorn. Not finding it. Subilby has to back up. That's a dangerous spot to be in. But Mano dives too deep. Like the Dwarves of Moria, man. He delved too greedily and too deep.
And man, those 16 HP allow Luna to have free reign on the supports. So another kill onto the Lucio. Dongyun sadly left up all here, a shooting gallery on the high ground.
The support's dream. I'm getting to get the kills. They're going to take point A pretty quick, I think.
Luna's been getting plenty of kills tonight on the Ana, so I don't feel too bad for him as a support player.
I just feel good for him. Nothing but positive vibes as Arhan gets popped out of the suit. Afreeca Blue, though, going to have to take their defense to the next point. They keep trying to stop it. Recry comes in with the nano visor, though. This may be an opportunity. Gambler boops him away, saving his life. And LW Blue, Sibyolbi pulling out the Dragon Blade. Maybe didn't want to use that one so early, but they'll do what it takes to get the payload moving.
They really didn't want to use both the TAC visor and the Dragon Blade at the same time if you're LW Blue. Although, I suppose Luna's going to switch back to Ana, so that's not too impactful, but you would have loved just to use TAC visor and save the Dragon Blade for a little bit later on, but Sabiel be going to make the switch too. So.
It was Recry with that TAC visor, so in the end, the ult economy more or less.
That's true.
I mean,
both soldiers use the TAC visor at the end, and with some of the swaps, they're not going to want to run triple DPS while you're attempting to push the cart. Probably and ultimately, it's successful. Mono again, he just goes too deep and gets picked off. Yeah, I know that Sabiel on the Genji only had 16 HP remaining, but you have to be super wary of getting caught as a Winston in those close quarter situations against double DPS.
Yeah, you need to know your limits. Absolutely. Payload is moving. LW Blue. Making to the first turn here on Street's phase. First big turn. Flower has to be careful though. Recry landing some shots on the McCree. They popped the sound barrier actually. Wow, they really want to push this one.
Yeah, forces it out more or less thanks to Recry getting many of the members on LW low. But
well, in the end, it's enough of a threat that they just get to free push it through most of Streets, it looks like, as Afreeca regroups.
I mean, it looks like it might be all of Streets here, depending on how Afreeca Blue wants to play this.
Another last-minute defense?
Yeah, they should know they have a big ult advantage, but whether they're going to commit to that or not is another story. But Adam going down there late in the push with the sound barrier. He has his sound barrier up and dies, gets picked off, so that means there will be no defense up until the museum phase of this map.
Yep. And we're heading in there now. Payload really moving. Afreeca Blue. Here's where they need to be at the best they were last season. Extremely efficient defensive use of the ultimates. See if they can do it. They're going to throw in the self-destruct. Mano gets slept. They get back up again very low. Flower getting a lot of good shots in on the Pharah, actually. And LW Blue, they are not losing this fight right now.
And that is a really late sound barrier yet again. And everybody going to get trapped and actually destroyed by the barrage.
He takes himself out too, but Mako has a nano boost. He's going to chase after Arhan there.
He's going to fist to the face at the end. But that's a great push if you're LW Blue.
Yeah. Now, can you use this Earth Shatter? That's the thing.
They've got to use the Shatter, and they've got to use the nano boost really well. And you'll see LW Blue just backing off the card. They know they're not going to have the respawn advantage, so it's going to take another push.
Yeah, they've got 4 minutes, so they certainly do have
Hello,
the
Arhan.
opportunity. This is the Arhan Emergency Bastion. Haven't seen this one for a while. We do see it from time to time, though.
Absolutely. And still on 1.7, so no, not with the Bastion changes just yet. Zabiolbe gets the crucial hook onto
that's
Adam, sneaking
big.
around.
Yeah, but Recry comes in with 2 on the Deadeye, but Flower 2 with the Soldier 76. Mako gets some McCree, and LW Blue appears to have won the war of attrition here, and they will get 3 points with 3:40 left on the time bank. That is a big push for LW Blue.
Yeah, virtually unopposed in the streets phase, thanks to a late pick onto Adam, and then LW Blue can't capitalize with a big ult advantage thanks to a well-timed barrage by Flower, canceling out a lot of that. A lot of the ults that were just used by LW Blue, and a late sound barrier. Adam really was a big problem for Afreeca on that final 2 points. I mean, him dying late meant they couldn't contest even with an ult advantage on point B, and then his late sound barrier really took a lot away from a possible defense.
You know, and I feel like you just got to chalk it up to maybe a lack of experience on in the support role, because if you're defending the third point on Nimbani as a support, you're on the side, yeah, sometimes, but you're always checking those side corridors because Roadhogs love to come through there. Everybody loves to come through there if they're a DPS or any sort of pick hero. So if you're not watching that corridor, you're gonna get killed.
Yeah, that's another point. He did that even later on. So
yeah,
a pretty lackluster showing from Adam.
Yeah,
in the payload phase of the map, but see if he can reclaim his glory on attack here for Afreeca Blue, who must push through all 3 points, and they're going to have to do it damn fast. Gambler's going to try and make sure that doesn't happen by switching back to the Torbjorn. Hero we've seen from him before.
Yep.
And where's the turret going down? Will be an advanced turret, a vanguard turret, if you will. Get some potential early damage and ult charge.
Yep. See how it works out.
Very mobile composition here. Zabiolbe rocket jumps across the map. And
no, don't throw those away. I mean, that's going to be a dangerous garbage bag to pick up.
He's just being a jerk to the janitor.
Why are you putting sharps in there, man? It's horrible. All right, a little bit of ult charge, gets 6%. And so now we see if Afreeca Blue can push this payload or even get to the payload.
Where's his turret?
Not sure. It's dead. That's where it is. Arhan takes it out.
Yep.
Right away. Goes down though. So Afreeca Blue loses a couple members, and Zabiolbe getting a lot of damage done with that 76, I think, and setting up some finishing moves for Janice and Mako.
Yeah, still a couple of the tanks alive, but with D.Va and Winston, they are quickly dashing out of the fight to rejoin their teammates. Gives Gambler a chance to set up with his turret one more time. Recry never really under pressure or threat, but also not doing a whole lot of damage on the initial attack. It's going to be hard considering hitting all these heroes with a rocket is sort of a challenge considering the extreme mobility being run by LW.
Yep. Arhan just kind of skirmishing outside.
Great
they do
sleep
get
dart.
Flower. Yeah, Hammond goes down though. So actually both Annas go down. It's a huge brawl in Mano. I don't know how he made it that far through the map, but that's not where the payload is, buddy.
All right, Mako, the hero of that defense. Things look quite bad. Oh man, if he gets desuited now, ooh.
That's rough, man.
That feels real bad. He's gonna bunny hop and bunny blast his way off the map eventually.
Yep.
But Mako charging all the way up to that self-destruct, and look at LW. Early ult charge entirely in their favor. Gambler is now done with the attempt to play Torbjorn, which I definitely agree with.
Yeah, I think that's wise at this point. You're not really getting too close to the
against Genji
anymore.
and Pharah, you just like pointless.
Yeah,
so
you gotta play Lucio. Your survivability is much better. Recry just trying to do the damage he can, but he hasn't been too effective yet. Gets pushed off the edge. Did he get the boop? I don't think so. Mako get the kill though. Zabiolbe attack visor with the nano boost. Oh, he takes on Mano. All right, worth.
Takes
you
a dive.
You can go
at
to
the
your
end.
death and be happy with that. That's fine.
Does get booped off.
Yeah.
Now everybody going back. There has to be a giant tactical change here. Recry onto Widowmaker. Everything shifting.
Maybe they're just booking a flight out of here, actually.
It hasn't been destroyed yet, so.
Okay, yeah. That's right.
This new body airport's still intact and probably still flying some planes out.
Maybe. All right. They're going for it. On the point. A little bit of a delay. Recry with that Widowmaker. Gonna try to make a difference.
That Winston shield placement is brilliant from Janice.
Yeah. Arhan, meanwhile, very low. 6 health. Can he stay alive? No! Mako takes him down. 2 kills for Flower with the Dragon Blade on the other side. And LW Blue with another resounding defense.
Uh-oh. Is Donghyun going to get split spawned here?
Yes, he is. Well, he gets desuited, which is also bad because you either need to reset to get the suit back, or you just don't have the suit, which is
he's gonna reset.
Almost worse than dying. Yeah, you got to jump off it. Yeah.
Got to reset, but again, more time shaved off by LW. There is 1 push left. There is maybe a sound barrier if you're Afreeca Blue, and you have to take this through enemy sound barrier and a self-destruct and a nano boost. This looks incredibly grim for Afreeca.
Yeah. This may be the end of the road for our runner-up team from Apex Season 1. This last fight, they don't have a lot to work with, and they need to make it happen. Sound barrier comes in as Arhan puts the pressure onto the supports. Clarence Sabilby already getting kill zone with 8 seconds. I think this one's over, Monte Cristo.
I think you're definitely right. They get the sound barrier, but that's it.
GG.
Attack Visor easily cuts through Arhan, and they're going to mop it up with a full hold.
That's right. LW Blue, they took it to map number 5, but they get the win, and they will go on for a rematch against Kongdu Panthera for that final semifinal spot in Apex Season 2. It's going to be a great best of 5, although a lot of questions, I think, about both of these teams, honestly, going into this next match.
Sure. And interestingly enough, Doa, both of our finalists from last season are removed from Apex Season 2 in the losers match of quarterfinals.
That is kind of crazy, isn't it?
Envy dropping out in Group A, Afreeca Blue drops out in Group B. But
well, the landscape of Korean Overwatch is shifting rapidly.
2 big upsets for those number 1 seeds in both groups, too. So exciting to see Runaway and Meta Athena on the rise.
Yep.
Long faces on the side of Afreeca, but
yeah, Afreeca Blue. It's been a rough season for these guys. They've made some changes. They've struggled a lot in a lot of categories, and I think there's some roster swaps in the future. I think there's a lot of restructuring going on going forward for this team.
And when it comes to the rematch, first off, really exciting for LW Blue and Kongdu Panthera again.
Oh yeah, that's going to be awesome, man.
After what we saw from LW Blue today, where they struggled so hard on some of these hybrid and escort maps, I think that they just have simply better coordination. And then when we look at Kongdu Panthera that got styled on by Meta Athena, and it looked like if you shut down that Evermore Roadhog, they are significantly weaker. But LW Blue has troubles like with their consistency map to map.
I mean, that's the thing is LW Blue, I mean, these guys, we don't know if it's nerves, if it's pressure. It seems like it's got to be the nerves because we know how good they can be, and they were that good right up until the playoffs here. So maybe they'll have a little bit of comfort in that it's a matchup they've already played. They can feel a bit more confident coming into it.
And Meta Athena showed how effective those Evermore shutdown strategies can be.
I think that's a hugely important
it's really
point.
important.
Yeah, if they really watch the video from the earlier match tonight, I think they are given a very clear roadmap in how to dismantle Kongdu Panthera.
Yeah, play more Sabiel on the Tracer and have him harass Evermore as much as possible. But Meta Athena definitely doing a great job of getting the read onto Kongdu, and they are rewarded for it.
That's right. Let's check out the play of the game. Oh, yeah.
It's a gambler.
It's a boop, I'm guessing. Oh, yes, set it up. Oh, whoop. Oh, come on. All right.
He punched a nano boosted Genji in the face. Well, good job. You cleaned up a Genji on his last 12 HP. I'm really proud of you, Gambler. Gambler's so excited right now.
That's my reaction to it. That happens to me.
He's like, that never happens to me as Lucio.
I feel the same way, man. I know how it is. Well, great set of matches tonight. Very surprising results in both categories, I gotta say.
Definitely would have reversed these scores.